that she was their, that was their right, and she was their property.
But that's your child.
But it was my child. But she was born in Germany. They felt she was a German citizen, and they were very, very serious. And they were like, "We're going to take good care of her. We're going to do this." And they had the place already, the little route underneath the hospital she was born at. You didn't have to leave the hospital. It's like a little tunnel that goes to the institution. And I'm like, she won't go through that tunnel.
Yes.
Because she's going with me.
Exactly.
And they're like, she'll never leave here. We'll take care of her. I'm like, no, she'll leave here. She'll leave here today. So we were literally kidnapped her. We literally were wanted and literally almost faced charges for kidnapping our own child from the hospital because I wasn't going to have that. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I know what I wasn't going to do.
Exactly.
So I was like, I'll figure it out. But we were very young, and we just, there was no reason for it.
Yeah.
You know, he was 23, I was 23. That's for
just,
older
that's
people.
Just not acceptable, you know.
But even her being diagnosed or having Downs, the doctors couldn't figure out why. Well, there was no reason. But there was a reason. There was a bigger reason.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with medical reasons, but
Yes.
I bargained with God. I begged. I pleaded.
Make a way.
I would just stare at her and hope that if I, you know, when I close my eyes, if I open them, it'll be different. Until she was about 6 months old. And I remember I was crying one day and I was like, Lord, please, please, do something, please. And I was watching a Bible study with her. And he said very clearly, I can, but I won't. And I was gone. I never cried again. Not one time about that.
Yes.
There's been other
Yes.
stuff. But I let it go.
Yeah.
Unless he said I can. But I won't. And he also said very clearly to me, I will give you the grace.
That's right.
I was like, wow, I want grace to bear it. And he gave me the grace. So now it's not a burden. It's not hard. It's just different.
It is. It is.
And it's something that you feel like, you kind of feel special, you kind of feel privileged when you think about it.
It is.
Because you know you have an awesome responsibility. You had an awesome with the other children, right? All kids have special needs. All of our kids have special needs, right?
Yes.
But you realize that awesomeness of this child. This child, people on sight know that something's different. And on sight, they're watching you. But even if they're watching me or not watching me, she's mine. I'm going to love her with the love that God gave me to love her with. And I think that happened too because I had lost 2 babies before Alicia was born. And I was of that mind, just let me have my baby, you know. And then God was like, okay. I really didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't. When she was born and I didn't see her, and they were like, oh, you know, she has this, she's sick, she da-da-da. And I was like, I don't care what's wrong with her. Something, she lied. Is she alive? And they were like, well, yeah, barely, but... And my husband's like, well, if I was her, I wouldn't want to be alive. If it was me, I wouldn't want to live. And I was like, well, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? And he was like, oh, I just wouldn't want to live. And it took me 3 days to see her. When I saw her, I'm like, are y'all crazy? There's nothing wrong with this baby. Move out of the way. I will do it by myself. I'm snatching tubes out. And they're like, no. I'm like, no, she doesn't need this tube. She doesn't need that tube. What are you doing? They were just getting ready to fit her for a feeding tube in her stomach. Because they said she couldn't suck. I put my finger in her mouth. She started sucking my finger. Take it out or I will.
Oh.
I'll perform surgery right here. Take it out. She won't have that today.
That's right.
And it's been a fight ever since. But you got to be willing to fight.
That's right.
You got to have a lot of thick skin.
Exactly.
For your friends and your family
wash
who
your
say
forks or
insensitive
do you
things
don't?
and don't mean it. Some
Don't
people hurt
matter.
your feelings and don't even say some
They do.
of the most insensitive stuff. And you just think, how ignorant are they to think that? But then you have to forgive.